What if the storm that you're going through, you and your team are going through right now, is your greatest blessing? Sounds like a weird question, but let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. You may remember of the invasion of Iraq a couple of decades ago. And it was very interesting. My point here is not to call any political discussion to that. You may agree or disagree. That's not what I'm after. My whole point is simply to elicit a leadership lesson out of this particular story. Because you may recall that in the invasion, there was a terrific sandstorm that came up that bogged down the invasion for about 2 or 3 days. And everybody was hunkering down, trying to keep sand out of the equipment, out of the vehicles, and all of this sort of stuff. And everybody was sort of wondering about it. One thing that you probably didn't know, because nobody ever came out with it, at one point in our Rotary Club, the guest speaker for that day was a Army recruiter, but during that invasion, he was the tank commander for the Abrams tank that was the third tank that rolled into Baghdad. And he pointed out something that nobody else really knew. What he pointed out is after 2 or 3 days of that sandblast sandstorm, when they kind of got up after the storm was done, what they realized is that the winds and the sandstorm had uncovered every mine in the immediate area. They were in the middle of a minefield. And they could see every one of them because this sandstorm had uncovered them. And they were able to progress with no casualties and no damage to any equipment. What's my very simple lesson out of that for you, the leader of your organization? What if the storm that your team is currently going through is your greatest blessing? What is that storm revealing about your team that you guys can work on? What is it revealing about your leadership that you can work on? And how is that going to make your team better as you go forward? It's a very simple insight, but a quick one. I leave that with you for today.